fixes that issue. I just restarted it again. Hopefully that can go through. Um, all right, guys. So not for those on YouTube, not our regular screens today. There's some computer issues after an update I did yesterday that kind of threw everything off this morning on Windows. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But with that said, hopefully you can see our screens now. Just want to get confirmation.
Yep, we're good on
We're
YouTube.
good.
Sorry
All
about
right,
that,
good on
guys.
YouTube and good in the chat room. All right,
Yep.
perfect. All right, guys. So with that said, I hope you guys are really watching. It's a lot of good information on what Brian is putting out every Sunday. So he puts a video out yesterday, kind of like the market overlook and what's happening this week. He also does one on Wednesdays as well. So make sure you tune into that. Gives you a pretty good indication of what some of the sectors are, energy and consumers, all that stuff it goes through. So very very useful. But with that said, Norm, let's go over the market pulse. And I'm not going to switch screens today. I'm going to keep it here just to not mess
Yep.
anything else up.
Yeah, sorry for the slightly late start. Like he said, he had an update and it kind of threw everything into a mess that we were not expecting. So anyway, that having been said, we're gapping up 0.2% on the SPY. In reality, if you look at that daily that you have up on SPY, we have just been consolidating here for about a week and a half or so after we had this pullback from making all-time highs. It'll be interesting to see what the market does, all these moving averages, all these levels converging. I think we're just consolidating maybe for a move up higher. That's my personal opinion. The sell-off that we had in September, it was pretty there wasn't panic, there wasn't really fear, there wasn't a whole lot of anything. We had just run up a ton since we started going down in February and bottomed in March. Nobody was expecting to be at all-time highs again this fast. So that having been said, slight pullback, not unexpected or anything to be crazy about. We'll see what we do here. As far as news this week, this morning we have services PMI at 9:45 and the ISM index, services index at 10 a.m. So got a few other things throughout the week. FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. Of course, can't go without saying the president being in the hospital over the weekend. Anything changes with that in his status, could change the direction of the market, could do a number of things. So keep an eye out for that. Be listening to Benzinga's squawk for sure, so we can get that news as fast as we possibly can.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's look at what we have here. This list is huge today. We got a lot on gapping up this morning. A couple of low flow stocks here leading the way, 50, 40, 16%. Oh, in the low flow around that 20. Well, not this one, not this MYOK. But for the most part,
That's a
anything in yellow
buyout,
here.
cash
It's a
buyout. It's not,
Okay.
yeah, so there's no reason to even look at it.
Yeah, so again, let's see what's gapping down because we got a good one here, DKNG. Now, this one's been very, very active for us, guys. At the moment, they are down 4.9, so I definitely like what I'm seeing here. I am going to add this one to our list, DKNG.
It's a secondary, which usually isn't the greatest catalyst, but since this is a cult stock, it might be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of people rooting for this. So I'm definitely going to see how this is going to play out. Right now, their pre-market looks pretty decent. And again, we've seen better, but it looks pretty decent. So, and their daily has been pretty nice. So let's see what happens there. CNK, this one is down 3.8 this morning. Not a great pre-market action. We do have some volume here, 132 at the moment. Not trading all that well. Their daily, though, very interesting. I believe we have traded this one before in the past. Or at least
this is Cinemark. It's definitely been a COVID related trade this year with just movie theaters getting hammered. So the news here is there was a large theater company in England that is suspending operations because of COVID. They've essentially run out of money. And then in the last week or so, a lot of these theater companies in the U.S. have been talking to the government saying that unless they get some help, they're not going to be able to stay afloat and make it through this. So,
yeah, makes perfect sense. I mean, that business obviously hurting badly. So again, right now, pre-market action, guys, not looking all that great. Could be a good possible though. I think I remember trading this one in the past, or at least having some activity, and he traded very well. So I'm going to keep an eye on it as possible for the most part. All right, let's look at what's gapping down today. MYOK. This one is a buyout, so we're not going nothing to watch here, guys. As Norm mentioned, look at the pop here, and just pretty flat for the most part with volume. So again, no activity there. ENLV. This one's got some good action. It's pre-market, but again, it's a low flow stock, so you want to be cautious with it. Last couple of days, it has done some movements with some great volume. Had good volume on this day here, 43 million shares. After that, it's been a little bit lower. So just be careful with this. Popping up again, up 39%. But again, we know how these stocks are. Usually after the first or three couple of good days gapping up, they could be a little bit risky. So I'm going to throw it down here on the risky pile for a low flow team, but I am not going to be watching this one today. GAN, also a low flow stock at 23 million shares. This one at the moment starting to get going. Not great pre-action right now, but you can see the volume starting to come in here a little bit active. So I'll put it on here. We can come back to that one. That one is up also 17% right now. Let's take
This
a
is a
look at
gambling company out of the
it is.
UK that actually, I guess they've scored a contract with Michigan. So, for
It could be interesting.
the internet betting. So it might be something. We'll see. I usually don't like trading stocks from the UK because their price movement is
Hmm.
not great, but we'll see.
Yeah. Also, not such an old stock. Well, IPO'd back in June, looks like. So, not such a bad daily so far. We'll see how that plays out. For at least for
Um,
23 million.
for
Um, so
GAN,
GAN, yeah. I saw IPO. Did I?
no, they've been around longer than that, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have
I
no
don't
no
know.
info.
I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a company out of the UK. The Finviz chart has data going back through last year, but for whatever reason, ours doesn't. So
Ours
I don't
doesn't.
know if
Yeah.
something's changed or what the deal is here.
Yeah, interesting. Next on the list, guys, LTHM. This one also up nicely, 9.8 right now, 553,000. For the most part, volume is very light on this one, around 2 million shares on a regular basis. A couple of days over to 4.7 million. Right now, pre-market action, you do have it getting better here after 8 a.m., but for the most part, not looking all that great. Again, I'm skeptical about this one. Not sure what's the news popping it up today. Their daily is somewhat interesting, but the volume's just very light this morning. So on the fence on it, I'm gonna put it as a possible. We'll see if that gets any better as we move forward. LTHM.
This is on this is a lithium production company. That they're moving on EV stuff
Okay, that's the hot thing now. So
for batteries for all the EV makers.
okay, so I had a big day on Friday, so we'll see if that can continue today. But XPEV, this one right now up 8%. Pre-market action is decent. The daily is interesting though. We've been kind of just kind of chopping around here in this area. On this one also, I don't have a whole lot of history on it neither. I believe this is a recent IPO we discussed last week or so. Not, I think we saw it
It
last week on our
is.
scanners, right?
It is
Um,
indeed.
so, good pre-market action, guys. I like the base that we have here on 16. This could be interesting. I'm gonna add it because it's an IPO. You know, I'm gonna add as a possible. But if you like trading IPOs and you had success with them before in the past, you could read them well. This one looks good. It's got a great daily. It's got 798,000. It is up 8% this morning. That could be very interesting. LAC for the most part right now. Okay, pre-market action. The daily's it's a little
Once
funky
again,
here.
lithium.
Lithium battery as well? Man, these
Yeah.
things are, no wonder
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these weird names. Is it a lot of battery stuff here or what? What are we
Yep.
doing? I see a lot of weird tickers, manufacturing probably falls under that. So again, decent pre-market action. I believe this is one we saw last week as well. I can't recall.
Yep. Yeah, I made the Clippers joke.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, so this is again good pre-market action, guys. We'll see a lot of these, which one's going to be looking good for the day. All right, what else we have? REGN. This one.
This one's largely untradeable. It's popping because this is a drug that President Trump is taking that's experimental, came from REGN. So it started popping in the after hours last Friday when it was announced he was taking that.
Mm,
That having been said, I mean, it's the spread gets nasty on this. It jumps around. It's very difficult to trade. Doesn't do a whole lot of volume. So probably
yeah,
not the best
yeah.
keep on our list.
Yeah, that price range too. I mean, yeah, just let's avoid this one. Look at the spread too, a dollar and change there. SPI we looked at before. It's been very active in the past. Again, this stock now in a dangerous area, just chopping around, not really worth watching anymore until you get some volume. Right, you had a good day on here, a crazy day here. After that, hasn't been doing anything good. Plug guys doesn't trade very well. I typically take the stock off my list. At the moment, has a good pre-market action. I gotta say though, this is a great pre-market action, and the daily is interesting. The breaking out of this area here. You know what? I kind of I don't usually keep this stock, but this looks good today. This looks very, very good. 331,000 at the moment, up 4%. Great pre-market action. Their daily looks interesting. It might be a day to bring this back into our main list. BBBY has been having some pretty good activity. Today we are up 3.9, 256. I had a bang up day on Friday here after gapping up and holding this 18 level. So they're doing pretty well, man. I am going to add this on here. This could be interesting. Do we have momentum to keep going here on BBBY? Next, one that's been on obviously all over the radar, NKLA, kind of making a little bit of a bounce from this 1770 down here over to 25 now. And this thing's just been on a tear towards the bottom and just finally found some support here between amongst all the negative news that's around this stuff. So you got some action on it today. We'll add it on here for now. You got a pretty good volume, 423 up 3.2. I like the fact that we talked last week that GM is still in business with them, so that could be interesting because we mentioned these guys are going to do their due diligence.
Well, at
on
least
this,
let's
yeah.
clarify that they're still potentially in business with them. They have
Right,
not just canceled their
completely chopped them off.
agreements. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're doing more due diligence and
yeah.
more diligence, checking it out, making sure everything's
I think
copacetic
I
there.
think that will be the nail in the coffin. If they pull out officially,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. I
when
think
forget it. This will
could be a
drop
problem.
here. All right, guys, I'm gonna skip down. We have a lot here. Let's see if we have anything good. SRNE, very active. I know a lot of people have been watching this one. They like to trade this stock. At the moment, pre-market action is okay. You got some volume, but pretty choppy, just going sideways a little bit here. Their daily looks a lot better. You kind of got some a bit of a uptrend pattern here. Can we get up to these levels again? Will be interesting. But for the most part, I'm not gonna keep that one on my list. Gilead is on here. What do we have for them? My dad's acting a little weird today. Gilead, sideways action, some good volume, but not much going on there. Workhorse, we're gonna fly through these. Workhorse pretty flat right now. I don't see anything great there neither. Neo, another one that's been pretty good. Oh, I like Neo's daily. The daily on Neo is interesting. I mean, it's not a setting up crazy yet for a breakout, but I do like the fact this consolidation we have here, using now the area that we had as resistance now as support. So that's pretty good there. Could be even a good possible in Neo. So let's throw that on there. Space, I know, see a lot of you guys throwing out space as well. For the most part, at the moment, space is what do we have here? Good pre-market action, 376. Their daily is interesting. All right, we had this crazy gap up here, not crazy, but a nice gap up. Beautiful consolidation over the last couple of days. Now we're above this here. Are we going to run here or get some kind of rejection? I do like space. I'm going to add space to our list as well. All right, what else we have? And last one, since we're here, SQ, let's take a look at it. Their daily very strong here. Wow, I can't believe SQ at 173. We were trading this stuff a year, 2 years ago, at the 40s, 50s, 60s, and that was the high end of that stock. Now the stock is sitting at 170. It's just unbelievable. So again, this stock, guys, right now, pre-market action is not looking great. We're up 2.3, 2.2 at the moment. Their daily, though, does look very good. So if you like trading SQ like Brian does, or used to at least, definitely this is one to keep on your list. All right, guys, let's go over to what you guys have. Norm, what do you like this morning?
I'm actually I'm actually more perplexed that you mentioned the run up on Square as opposed to just in March Tesla was trading at $200 before rocketing almost to what 2,500, and then
Unbelievable.
or I think it might have even gotten to 2,500 or just shy of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Anyway,
How do you
I'm just
forget
joking.
that?
I'm just joking around. So anyway, no, I'm still looking, man. It's not looking too fantastic in my book this morning. So I'm
I agree. I mean,
trying to
just
find some stuff.
look at our main list here. Usually plug I won't even keep on here. NKLA is not something I usually watch. And look at our secondary. Our secondary doesn't look great at all. Just look at it's funny, you could tell sometimes, but just look at the tickers, what kind of day it's gonna be, and you can see this day starting off a little bit weird, at least this week. All right. What do you guys like in the chat room this morning? Let's take a look. All right, let's start with Lily. Let's start with Lily. Roku. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Roku here is great. Has a great daily, man. Roku has been so strong. Has no volume, but you know what? On a day like today, I will make room for Roku, because they could be very good. Only 22,000 right now. Again, horrible pre-market action, but this is typical. I love their daily, how strong they have been. Just continue to keep this uptrend after a couple of consolidation happening here. But again, they're moving pretty fast in the last couple of weeks here. So I like Roku. Let's keep that on there. Let's see what else we have here. Next is Twitter. TWTR. Not much volume, and I like the daily, so I see what you're looking at there. But Twitter, it needs a whole lot of volume to get going. That's one thing that we have noticed with Twitter. It needs great volume to get pushed up. So, but daily looks very nice. Possible break above these resistance area here. So definitely want to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at American Airlines. All right, American Airlines right now. I don't see much happening on American Airlines. I mean, you have a million shares traded. You're up only 1.1. So it's a whole lot of volume. But then keep in mind, look at this 362,000 dropped right here at 8 a.m., right? So you can't put too much weight on that type of volume at the moment. I don't see a whole lot going on. I think the market is going to dictate a lot on this one and the whole travel sector. I don't think the travel stocks are in play today. Let's look at CRVS. CRVS at the moment. You got a pretty nice pop here, but what kind of stock is this? Looks more of a low flow stock. I don't like the daily on it. Besides today, you got some good volume, but the daily overall doesn't look great. This is sitting at 21.4. So again, just slightly above that 20 number that we like, but again, still not looking great, guys. Good possible low flow stocks, but I would look at some other ones like GAN, who you know, which has some kind of activity happening here. ENLV, who has some news behind it as well. See a couple of great days. On that one, I'm just not too sure on that. EXLE. Now this is I don't usually trade these, right? These are sectors, so I don't usually watch it for actual intraday trades. You can do that. For the most part, I don't add these to my list. Again, this one's been taking a nice hit over the last couple of months here. Let's look at Apple. Let's take a look at that. Apple this morning. What do we have? My whole computer is acting weird. You see how my tickets are uploading? That is not
Hmm.
normal. Um, it's usually really, really, really fast. So Apple just kind of going sideways a bit here. You got some volume on it as usual, 1.5 right now. Pretty flat for the most part. Probably kind of waiting to see what the next move is going to be on the overall market. So I'm not going to add this into my list. I don't think it's in play, but it's a good one to watch if things start to move heavily in one direction. Apple, Nvidia, even AMD at most points. All these stocks, you know, that are heavily moved with the market will be good to watch. We looked at Neo. We do have Neo. Neo's on our watch list. Let's look at BA. Same thing with BA. Again, I don't think they are heavily in play this morning, so I'm just keeping to the side for now. All right, what else do we have, guys? BBBY high short flow. Yeah, we talked about BBBY having a high short flow interest,
It
right?
does, but it does have extremely high short float. That having been said, and I've mentioned this in the past, that number is reported twice a month on the 15th and the last trading day of the month. So that's when it's tallied as the end of that day by the brokers. They then have 4 days, I think it is, to give that information to the regulatory bodies. And then it's more time after that before it's disclosed. So it's like 11 or 12 days late generally
Right,
by the
right.
time that info is out. And so we're looking at info from September 15th right now. We've
Yeah.
had, I mean, hundreds of millions of shares traded since then and this massive pop. So that short
Mhm.
float is likely much lower at this point.
Yeah, I think some of these, like we mentioned some of these moves here will cost a lot of people to bail on this stock already. I mean, this is a big gap up, big day on Friday, closing strong, and you know you're up $21 from 15, 13 areas. So it definitely gonna be a lot
I
smaller.
mean, in theory, with the volume that BBBY has traded in the last few days, every single short that was in it could be out by now.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
asked,
Yeah.
somebody mentioned on YouTube that it was kind of perplexing. It was kind of perplexing that it was staying up here. They'd been anticipating a drop for 4 days. But I mean, that is what a squeeze is. There were people forced to sell shares. There were people So that's what's held it up here. It very well could stay up here, but until those people are taking every chance they can to unload shorts on whatever drops it has. So
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we're gonna go. Actually, 9 a.m. So we got to stop here. We actually have
let's hit
Dr. Katz
announcements real
on
quick
now.
before
You want to hit
let's do
announcements
announcements
first?
before.
Okay,
Yep, we
let's do it.
need to do that real
So we'll
quick
hit
first.
announcements,
I'll
and
be
then right
fast.
after that, we have Dr. Katz. So just 1 second.
All right, guys. Like I mentioned, I'm going to roll through these very quickly. I can't see your screen, man. Oh, there we go. Now I can. All right. So weekly rundown. So Brian's swing trade review, 2:30 p.m. in the chat room here on Mondays. He's been in the closing bell show most days anyway, so you're getting a little extra dose of that. Tonight's Monday is Carlos's onboarding class at 8 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday, noon in the classroom. You've got trade reviews with Eamon, psychology night on Tuesdays, success webinars Wednesdays, and as I mentioned, the closing bell show with Mike, Peter, and often Brian as well, Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. All right. So Wednesday night, special time, 5 p.m. We've got Eamon talking about developing a trade book for becoming a consistently profitable trader. And then next week, we've got Mike talking about fundamentals of risk management and risk controls. That's about the most important conversation one can have in trading. Psychology stuff. We've got tomorrow night with Dr. Katz Town Hall. We'll have, I believe, 2 traders there from the community talking about working through over trading. Last time he did a town hall, it was very well received. It was really a great conversation. So looking forward to that. And then next Tuesday night, 5 p.m. special time there because of her time zone. Craig will be talking about busting common mind traps, how faulty thinking leads to messing up trades. Trade of the week, guys. You can win a top of the line iPhone for the trade of the week, and you start by getting into the trade of the day. By doing that, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up, entries, exits, strategy, any other notes. Post it on Twitter. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at Norm BBT. Also use hashtag BBT Families, day trading and stock market. We'll announce that winner every day in the closing bell show and on Twitter. Then on Mondays, the closing bell show and on Twitter, and Tuesday morning pre-market show, we will announce the winner for the week. That person can then do a couple of extra things, which are mentioned in the forum and linked to above in order to win that iPhone. That's all I got. Dr. Katz, you there? Oh, sorry. Pre-market 24. If you'd like to try out the room for a week, that's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, and intro to the onboarding class Carlos does Monday nights at 8 p.m. Also, if you're looking to become a lifetime member, use the promo code FALL35 to save 35%. Now time for Dr. Katz. There he is.
Guys. How are you today?
Oh, it's been a little bit of a Monday morning here, Dr. Katz, with technical issues. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes behind, but hope you're doing well and had a great weekend.
Yeah, doing pretty well. What I thought I'd talk about today was kind of an interesting article I read in the Washington Post a while ago, which I think has great relevance for people's trading psychologically, as well as dealing with things in the pandemic. And that was the article talking about what they called psychological first aid. And like regular first aid, psychological first aid, which I can refer to as PFA, is really a way of kind of helping someone in pain, except rather than cleaning a bandage, cleaning a wound or bandaging up or applying ice to a sprained ankle, you really tend to someone's anxiety or distress in a way that will ease it and help restore a sense of equanimity. And applying this to yourself can have a positive impact on your trading, especially during using these important life skills during the stress of the pandemic. So let me just mention a few of these that I think people can apply to their general lives and to their trading. I think, of course, we've talked about this before, addressing your basic bodily needs, nutritious food, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, and some physical activity, really finding a baseline routine for yourself that works for you. Secondly, really kind of avoid further harm. And what I mean by that is take steps to ensure what we call emotional safety. By treating yourself and others with respect and compassion, And a wide range of emotions is perfectly normal during these times, but it's important to help keep your anxiety down for your own mental health and also managing your anxiety associated with trading. Keep calm to carry on. Maintain a kind of a gentle tone of voice. Of course, yoga, meditation, deep breathing. These are also helpful calming activities. And again, take a break, hit the pause button if needed, not only during the day, but, trading wise, we've talked about the importance of stepping back if things get a little kind of out of control or on tilt emotionally while you're trading. Kind of try to calm yourself down, relax yourself down, deep breathing, things like that can be very useful. Setting priorities is very crucial as part of this psychological first aid. Really, the key there is focusing on what is in your control, not what is not in your control. Try to build hope. I think that that's really a big one. You want to stay positive with kind of a learned or active optimism, especially when there's so much uncertainty going on, and remain forward focused. That's really the key. Try not to dwell too much on what has transpired, because that won't necessarily help you feel better or get better. You want to really connect with others. The best predictor of human resilience often is support from others. So you have the BBT community as well as hopefully friends and family. Reach out to them, connect with them. This is really important, not only for your trading, but for your overall mental health. Practice good communication. In this time and day and age, I think we really need to focus on active listening, hear what others have to say, hear what they have to say. Don't just listen, hear what they have to say. Very important. This can apply to trading as well, but it applies to life and relationships overall. Restore and reinforce your coping skills. Your own is very important. How you cope is a key thing in terms of your own psychological first aid. Confidence and competence comes with handling difficult situations and getting stronger. It helps build resistance. And that's kind of major things that can overall help with your trading and your overall health and well-being, including your mental health. So a couple of Mindful Monday psychological first aid tips for everybody out there to try to remember and incorporate in your daily and weekly lives. And hopefully it'll just add some more to your toolbox to perform and feel better.
Perfect timing, Dr. Katz. Volatile markets, crazy times, COVID, everything else 2020's brought us. So thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
You too. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Katz. Appreciate you for that great message there and advice. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what our list has today. Let's start with DKNG. So I like this one, guys. Again, the news behind it not so great. Usually stocks with that type of news don't trade well, but this is a different one, as Norm mentioned. It's got a big fan base behind it that likes this stock. So let's see how it plays out. 1.2 right now, still doing some good volume, down 3.9. Plug. Normally I don't keep this one on here, guys, but the daily looks it looks very good. Their pre-market is still very nice here, getting even better with more volume. So I want to keep an eye on that one. BBBY also is good, guys. Again, this stock has been just incredible what it's done over the last couple of days here. Let's see if it can continue with that type of momentum. NKLA, I'm on the fence on this one. It has great volume. If it wasn't for the news behind it and what certain things that can happen, I wouldn't care as much. But here we have a couple of decent green days, a nice bounce over 1777. We'll do levels for it. We'll be ready, see what kind of action we're going to get out of that one. Space at the moment, we do have a decent pre-market action. I love their daily, probably one of the best dailies we have here. Look how great this consolidation is now. Now we're above this area of resistance, so I really like how Space is setting up here. And then Roku I have here as well. Nice daily, not a great pre-market, but possible continuation. Let's look at Neo. Neo, Neo looks good. We got to move Neo up. Neo should not be on our secondary list. This is looking really nice, and it has been trading so well for us too. So let's remove that there. What else we can take out of here? NKLA, BBBY, plug is decent. I'm gonna go with even NKLA has some possibilities. Roku. Let's put Roku as our main possibles list. A lot of stuff here on the possibles list I'm not a fan of at all. A lot of lithium battery companies. This one looks interesting, guys, in the pre-market here. So if you like this one, got good support there. LTHM. I'm going to remove it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to waste my time with that. CNK, same here, guys. I'm not going to watch this neither. It's just not my typical type of stock. GAN, GAN is interesting. So we'll keep this one on here. ENLV, for the most part, I personally am not going to watch this. So I'll just let's get rid of it. The less the better today. For Monday as we get started for this week. So here we go. All right, and here, what do we take off from here? Roku. We took off Roku, and I think we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is perfect. That's a good number. All right, let's do levels, guys. DKNG, let's start off here. Right now, your levels are set. You're stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. The highs of the pre-market are hitting the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. So you really are covered as far as levels. The only thing you might want to add on here is towards the bottom, right? If we lose this gray area of resistance, now it's becoming support for Friday. If we lose that, you got this beautiful level here, very clear, 55.61. And this is what happens when you have such a clean daily. You can clearly see where the levels of resistance and support are, right? At 55.61, everybody has that on there. I mean, there's no way you cannot have this level on your list. It's just so clear, right? So when you have something like that, it makes it easy to find these levels that everybody's looking at. So that's covered for you there. Your pre-market high is a little bit higher, but I'm not going to put too much weight on these 2 candles here. Because again, they don't have a lot of transaction information. This is a 259,000 volume candle here, but these are transactions being posted. So yeah, I'm not going to put too much weight on this here. This for me is going to be more significant. Even the previous day close is going to be a very important level as well, as far as the highs and lows towards the top there. So DKNG looks good, guys. Let's see if we can get going there. Plug, again, normally I would not keep this on there, but we're getting some good resistance right up here over at 1476 high of the pre-market. Let's throw that in there. Are we at all-time highs with this? Looks like we are. Yes, we are. So this stock, again, trading very well, guys. I love the daily unplug. It's one of the reasons why it's making me keep this stock on here. We've broken out of this area of resistance here, and here as well last week, Thursday and Friday. So that's looking pretty good, and we got some decent volume. Let's see if we can break out of that. For the most part, towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close as well. I think that's got you covered. If we lose 1350 and 1324, which I highly doubt the way this thing is moving, you got another great level here over on 1268. Got a lot of resistance. A lot of support happening there around that area. So that's good to have there. Let's look at BBBY for the most part. Again, this stock, okay, pre-market action. Pre-market high right now, around 22. You got a couple of spikes over here on it. But again, look at the daily here. It's great highs and lows towards the bottom after these nice gap ups. So do we have any continuation left on this one? As far as levels, towards the top, above 21, 22 basically. Let's see what we have here. I know we've been higher on this for sure. There we go. A lot higher. 21, let's see what we get over 22. All right, so 21, 22 is a nice one. Over here around 23, slightly lower, guys, around 22.90. You can see a great area of resistance and support right on there, just in case. I don't think we have the juice for that, especially on this stock, but we'll see what plays out here. Then towards the bottom, guys, you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and the previous day close for BY. NKLA, guys, this thing has found a nice little bounce here of 1777. Right now, pre-market is very active towards the downside. They were up as high as 2%, now giving some back, heading down towards that previous day close line, looks like. Our high of our pre-market has a lot of activity, not with a whole lot of volume, but still worth marking down. So a lot of touches here, 25.75 or so. Yep, 25.75. And then towards the bottom, you have your previous day close line. I'm not going to mark the low of the pre-market because the previous day close line is going to be better. The low of your pre-market is at 24.30, which is this one here. So you don't want to put a lot of weight on that anyways. The previous day close is going to be your more important level there. And then below the previous day close towards the bottom, you really don't have anything else in here as far as the daily goes, right? So you can't go into your 5 minutes, see if you find anything else if you want a level between here. But for the most part, these two the lows from the last 2 trading days, Thursday and Friday, are going to be more important for NKLA. This is the least favorite on my watch list, by the way. Let's look at space. Space this morning, great consolidation, beautiful breakout here above this area of resistance, 2170. High of the pre-market, low of the pre-market being marked basically by the previous day close. So you're covered there. And then towards the bottom, since we've been consolidating over the last couple of days, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days are taking care of you there towards the bottom end. Now towards the top, look at this 2165. No coincidence that you have a couple of days here closing around that area. So you're getting some resistance. And then we talked about this area up here before in the past, right? It's a bit choppy. It's not clean. It's not clear. Very difficult to find the best levels. I'm going to go with 22.13. This could be a nice one. You have resistance here, support. This day is closing there. More support, more resistance. You got about at least 4 or 5 days touching that 22.13 worth having as a support level. And just in case this thing gets going, you have another level there at 23.24. A couple of days opening and closing around that area. So I like space daily. The daily looks amazing. The consolidation has been great. Pretty wide consolidation too, right? Usually it's a little bit tighter, but it's pretty wide after a nice gap up. Remember the gap up, we got above this area of prior support and great resistance over a month and a half or so. See the resistance happening there? So gapping up above that, might have given a nice little move, a nice little short squeeze happening here. Now the consolidation for a possible continuation. So this daily looks really, really good. Here's Neo, great pre-market action right now. Also, their daily looks amazing, guys. Not big day. This was sometime last week, and now consolidating here towards the end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're stuck between the highs and lows of that, but towards the bottom, we do have a pre-market low that has a couple of touches here around 21.52. So let's mark that down. And then towards the top, you have your highs and your highs for the last 2 trading days. And then you also have this one right on here, all the way up at 22.58. I'm going to mark that down. I think that is your all-time highs, if I'm not remember. Yeah, that's your all-time high, 22.58, around that area. And then towards the bottom, look at this level over at 20.77. That's a great area of support. So nice to see what's going to happen here, guys. Great action right now, 1.4 million shares traded. So some pretty good volume for Neo this morning. All right, guys, let's see what our moderators are looking at today. If that is working. Oh, this is working normal. Okay, good. So here is John. He's coming in with hot
It's the only thing that's worked correctly all day.
I'm telling you, man. Oh my God, I'm looking sideways. It's just an incredible mess. All right, here it is. John, high of day breakout. Top of his watch list. He has Zoom, Nvidia, Netflix. Mike has the break of day, high of day scanners. He has SQ and Roku. Both look really, really good on the daily. They look amazing on the daily, actually. Peter has DKNG, SPCE, and AMD as his secondary list. He has Apple, LTHM, Plug as well. Plug is looking good today too, so nice to have that on the list this morning. Brian has Neo, DKNG, SPCE, LTHM, and GRNG, Wild Fun. So I can only imagine what that looks like. We'll look at that in a second.
Penny stock garbage.
Let's look at it now. Let's look at it right now. Brian always surprises us with some.
He always pulls one weird, crazy one out.
Oh yeah,
like that's completely not how we trade, but he likes to do it just to. Yeah.
This is completely out of the blue. This is not in any of our classes. So be careful trading this. But it's a 2 point. What is the flow? Actually, the flow is not. It's not a low. Oh no. Hold on. It is a low flow stock. It's not even coming up. GRNQ. I can't even tell what the float is. But just be careful with that one, guys. All right. So going back to our list here, that is Brian, Wild Fun there, and then Tiffany has DKNG, Neo, Space, Tesla, and Apple. Those last 3 there as her secondary list. All right, guys. It's going to be an interesting day. Again, things don't look all that great right now. But how many times have we set that norm and we come back, the next day and say, what a great day it was. So all that is telling you.
All you need is one.
Patient. Exactly. All you need is
patient.
One. Just be patient. Right now, nothing looks overly exciting, overly great. But just be patient. Wait for that setup. And if you don't get the setup, we'll come back tomorrow and find another one. No pressure. Market is not going anywhere from last time. Absolutely. We'll be here for some time. So take care, guys. Stay safe. We will see you tomorrow at 8:30. Tonight, we have the onboarding class. So if you're joining me tonight, make sure you sign up for the Dash Trader trial. All right. So the Dash Trader has a great trial, completely free. Go to the link on our website. So at least while you're doing your trial this week, you can use the platform and follow us in the chat room as well. Get familiar, get the whole experience of being part of the community and being able to trade with that platform, which is amazing. Take care, guys. Stay safe. We will see you tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.